Today we'll be diving deeper into student life, Ohio State's vast construction, and talking about what's going on around campus.
It's all next on Buckeye TV.
We have a ton of other positions that we can rely on.
This job has been in the coming weeks. What services are offered to help international?
Trying to keep a smile on your face, right?
Scarlet night?
Buckeyes are
Hello and welcome back to Buckeye TV. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Sarah. The current political climate in America has produced many controversial pieces of legislation. With Trump administration rescinding deferred action for childhood arrivals, or DACA, many residents are concerned for how this could affect them.
On September 5th, the Trump administration rescinded the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, giving Congress 6 months to create a policy to replace it. DACA was a policy that allowed minors who entered the country illegally protection from deportation for a renewable 2-year time period. How did you feel when the administration announced that they were rescinding DACA?
Well, I was disappointed. I mean, I think it's incredibly short-sighted, and to a certain extent, it feels mean-spirited. Right? There are these students who are busy doing the things that they're supposed to do, how to sort of carve out the best possible life for themselves. Right? In the only country that they've really ever known, most of them, that they now become part of them, and instantly the rug is pulled out from under their feet, and they have to deal with that.
Ohio State University President Michael V. Drake issued a statement supporting those students who are under DACA, saying that the university is advocating strongly with our elected officials, Homeland Security, and colleagues across higher education for a just resolution.
I think the university could be even more proactive to be supportive of DACA students. And I think maybe they could declare this a sanctuary campus. I don't know to what extent that would deter ICE. And I believe the city of Columbus has been declared a sanctuary city. And so it would be great just to have that declaration even that this is a sanctuary campus, that ICE officials are not welcome here, that we expect that there will be no deportations from our community.
Each year, Apple releases new technology, and this year was no different with the release of the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10. Will Gordon is here to give us some more insight about the latest iPhone.
The iPhone X has plenty of new features. For one, there's no home button. A swipe up from the bottom brings you up to the home screen. Apple has also introduced Face ID. It features 8 different cameras and sensors that combine to instantly recognize the owner's face. The iPhone has also improved on battery life. Apple has managed to increase the battery life by 2 hours compared to the iPhone 7. I sat down with 2 Ohio State students to get their take on the iPhone X.
Former Ohio State basketball player Greg Oden has returned back to OSU to star in his new role, student. Here is Adam Amici with the rundown on Oden's newest game plan.
There are more non-traditional students enrolled in colleges across the United States than ever before. More than 47% of students who are currently enrolled in universities are older than the age of 25. This trend has even impacted those who are financially well off, but have realized the importance of having a college degree.
It'll allow me to get an actual career, which would be near impossible without going to college.
I hope to be a doctor one day, and I thought this was the best way, obviously, to get about that.
What business owners are looking for is like people with majors, so I just feel like it'd be easier to get into the career.
Recently, many professional athletes who may not have completed college have decided to return to school. Athletes such as Venus Williams, Michael Jordan, Emmitt Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal returned to college to complete their degree after going pro. At Ohio State, former football players Eddie George and Cardale Jones returned to finish their degrees. And this semester, former OSU basketball player and #1 overall pick in the NBA draft, Greg Oden, has re-enrolled in classes to finish the degree he started over 10 years ago.
Coming up this week in sports, we have Ohio State playing UNLV. This will be the first time ever that the two schools have gone head-to-head.
Coming up after the break, we'll hear some advice on buying cars on campus and learn more about the eating behaviors that are plaguing college campuses, here only on Buckeye TV.
Students, put down those smartphones and close those laptops. Next up, we have Buckeye TV reporter Adam Stryker on OSU professors' no in-class technology policy.
And phones out is distracting to students. I see it in every class. So if that's their choice, then that's their choice.
In fact, in 3 separate studies completed at Princeton University, it was shown that those who took their notes longhand instead of on a laptop performed much better with conceptual questions and wrote less notes.
Well, I think in some classes taking notes on a laptop makes sense, but if the class is about developing your own original ideas, I think it's better to get offline actually to do that.
I do think handwritten notes is the best way to go.
They're just distracting, and so why not eliminate the distraction?
So does this policy help or hurt students who are so used to using their electronics? We know what the studies say, but the fact is there are differing opinions. With Buckeye TV, I'm Adam Stryker.
Are you getting the best deal on your newest car? Buckeye TV reporter Angel Yu is here to tell you and Ohio State students how to find the best car advice to save money and trouble.
Hi, can I have your name and your rank?
Hi, my name is Vicky, and I'm a third-year student.
Do you have your car?
I do.
Can you tell me what did you do before you purchased that car?
So first I did some research, and then I'm trying to pick a brand, and then pick the model, the make. And then I went online to see the nearest dealer around me. That's pretty much it.
Thank you. And what is your advice to those students who are looking forward to purchase their own car?
Definitely do some research first, and then there's a website called Kelly Blue that you can compare and contract the difference between the cars and the prices, and then just bring a negotiator with you when you buy the car.
Thank you. We also have a chance to speak with a student who acts as a car dealer advisor for international students. Let's see what is his opinion. Can I have your name and your position, please?
I'm Daniel Wong, and I am a car dealer advisor for international students.
What is your advice to those students who want to purchase their car?
Before I purchase car, you have to make sure, especially you are purchasing a used car, make sure you have look out for several points. First, look at the car, the title, if this car has a clean title or not. And second, the mileage. Usually a car would be best for 20,000 mileage per year. Other than that would be like maybe used too much. That's it.
Thank you. Daniel is available anytime if you have any questions about buying a car. Thanks for Vicky and Daniel gave us their experience and advice. So before purchasing a car, the most important is to relax what kind of car you need, their makes, models, properties, and your expecting price range, and know which car dealer you want to contact with. Thanks.
Many Americans have been devastated by Hurricane Irma and Harvey. The weather has not calmed down, with 2 earthquakes striking southern Mexico, causing hundreds of deaths. Our thoughts and prayers are with them and all the others affected at this time.
Going off to college is a significant milestone in many students' lives. However, navigating college life presents many hurdles. Up next, we'll hear from Buckeye TV reporter Sarah Grulich about some of the difficulties students face.
College is an adjustment for everyone, but for freshmen, this is an entirely new chapter that some of them may not be prepared for. Everyone anticipates the transition into college, but was it what freshmen here at OSU expected?
I'd say that the transition has been kind of in the middle, I'd say. It's hard to kind of find time to go eat and stay active and keep up with my studies, but other than that, I think it's different. It's nice to live alone and kind of get a feel for the university.
The beginning of a new chapter in one's life means becoming adjusted to new surroundings.
Coming into college, I have some pretty good roommates, some pretty good people surrounding me, so it's definitely helped with the transition a lot.
As well as new schedules.
So I start every day at 8, and then sometimes I end before 11, or sometimes I end at 1:30 or 2, so that's definitely different. And also the coursework is a lot different. Like, I take a lot of notes during class, and then I kind of still don't know what I'm learning, so I kind of have to make an extra effort to go to see my TA and go to the library and do some extra studying, and I didn't have to do that in high school.
Obviously, the adjustment into college does not come easy, so if you see or know any freshmen around campus who need some encouragement or guidance, be sure to give them a helping hand. This has been Sarah Grulich reporting for Buckeye TV. The Freshman 15 has always been a big conversation on campus. Today, Buckeye TV reporter Paris McGee Jr. will introduce to us the new weight problems students are facing.
So we've all heard of Freshman 15, a term that refers to the amount of weight a student will gain their first year of college. Today, however, there is a new trend on college campuses, Reverse Freshman 15, where students will engage in compulsive eating behaviors and exercise to limit weight gain. Reverse Freshman 15 is a new trend on college campuses where students are engaging in compulsive eating behaviors and exercise to help limit weight gain. After hearing about this, how does this make you feel knowing that students on your campus could be engaging in this type of negative behavior?
Unfortunately, I think it's a very sad thing. I think the new student population coming in as freshmen, especially the female population, have a lot of societal changes happening and a lot of societal pressures that force them to change their eating habits and whatnot, and it can be a very dangerous situation.
Do you feel that society has an impact on students' body image?
Oh, for sure. It's in the social media all over the place. You know, there's the perfect body image. It's kind of going away a little bit, but it's always around.
And what do you think Ohio State can do to help students who may be going through this issue?
There definitely needs to be a plan made for education about this because there's a real problem going around.
What do you think Ohio State can do to help students who are going through this?
I think the best thing this university can do is just educate the student population about the available resources there are to help people, whether it's diet, body image, or any other anorexia, bulimia disorders, and just give them the resources they need to be educated about it and get healthy.
Thank you.
Break to hear more on how Ohio State's landscape is continuing to change, and later we'll be continuing the conversation off campus.
The Ohio State University is always looking to improve campus to attract new students and benefit current students and alumni. With ongoing renovations, let's see what fellow Buckeye TV reporter Ryan Vonderhaar found.
Construction on the historic Mirror Lake District began in the fall of 2016. Students may notice that their beloved landmark has been under construction for more than a year now. But in the end, what will all this downtime get us?
To create a new story for Mirror Lake, one that is a little more forward-thinking and contemporary in terms of sort of today and some of the focus on sustainability issues and things. So the idea for the restoration really was spawned by an understanding that the lake had certain deficiencies. It hadn't really been addressed since the 1930s, and it was a chance to really rethink it and remake it in a way that it'll be a contributing landscape for the university for the next 50 to 100 years.
And what are students thinking about Ohio State's plans for the renovation project of Mirror Lake?
I mean, it seems like a good idea. Yeah, I always really appreciate it. That sucks that they have to like continuously clean it out. I'm sure if it was like natural rather than a brick foundation, like that makes sense to me.
The university has said that the project is hoping to be finished by the fall of 2018. Until then, students aren't the only ones missing Mirror Lake. With Buckeye TV, I'm Ryan Vonderhaar. Construction is not only affecting students and faculty, it is affecting Columbus residents as well. Let's tune in with Buckeye TV reporter Oyinda Bola to see what people have to say.
In the past years, Ohio State campus has experienced constant construction. This construction has spread to surrounding areas. Out here in front of redeveloped row homes on 11th Avenue in Wyland Park, not too far from campus. Here, we see manicured lawns, trees, and patio furniture. But not too long ago, 11th Avenue looked very similar to North High Street. A few years back, Wagon-Brenner Development, a non-OSU affiliated company, started construction on what seemed to be a set of row houses in desperate need of repair. These are the row homes now. We asked local residents about their thoughts on their changing surroundings.
Been looking very nice. They're revamping everything. It seems pretty cool. I think it's good for the overall well-being of the city. I think some of the residents here who are used to prices with their rent and what they've been paying might be increased and they might have to move out. But that's sadly all part of gentrification. But I think it's just best for the city. We're gonna make more money.
The way it was out here was different. They just made it look better. They just kicked everybody out that lived here first. I guess they raised the prices too high for people like us. They're white, like everyone. It wasn't usually like white people out here. Just they like act kind of scared to people that have been around here.
I've lived here for about 8 years, and in that time there's been a lot of both investment in the neighborhood and from that a lot of change. There's been a lot of good, but there's been some not great consequences of some of the investment and change in the neighborhood.
Hi, the folks. This is Oyinda Bola from Buckeye TV.
This week, Trump gave a controversial speech to the UN, and it seems that this did not go over well with North Korean foreign minister who compared Trump's speech to the sound of a dog barking. Diplomatic relations between the two countries have not been improving.
It is no surprise that the athletics at Ohio State are some of the best programs in the country. Well, officials are ready to continue with construction to reflect that in OSU's athletic facilities. Here's James King with more on the story.
The Ohio State Board of Trustees approved a renovation plan of the Woody Hayes Athletic Center's East Wing. The renovation is set to add a new kitchen and nutrition area for the athletes. Also, there will be an expanded lounge area for the players to relax in. These renovations, however, don't come cheap. The project's budget is a whopping $7.8 million. The hefty price tag, however, is worth it to head football coach Urban Meyer.
You expected Ohio States of the world and the elite programs, which we are. Expect to have the very best for the welfare of student athletes. A lot of it, what we're doing is not as much bells and whistles, but it's actual welfare about the health and safety of our guys, making sure it's the best of the best of the best. And then there is the fact that new recruiting. We don't, our athletic director and administration don't shy away from that. That we expect to go, when you go recruit someone, we don't need obstacles, we need advantages.
I am here outside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, and over my shoulder you see the Schumacher Complex. The Schumacher Complex is being built in addition to the renovations they will be doing to the Woody. Once these two buildings are complete, Ohio State's athletic facilities will rival that of any in the nation. Not all Buckeyes are happy with the renovations, seeing them as not immediately necessary.
I mean, we have a good football program, and I know they do put a lot of money into it. I mean, they could give some to us regular students, but, I don't really mind.
Whether or not you support the approved renovations, they will be underway soon. For Buckeye TV, I'm James King.
Stay tuned, because right after this break, we're going to let you know about what's happening off Ohio State's campus and how Man's Best Friend is involved.
Looking for a new job in the greater Columbus area? Hallie Henry interviewed the president of Buckeye Better Business Consulting to find out a little more about what they do in their modern work environment.
I'm here outside Buckeye Better Business Consulting, better known as Buckeye BBC. They've already expanded to many locations all over Ohio, and I got to talk to President Rick Knutson a little more about their success and everything that they do.
How did it start? So I guess it was out of necessity because I got laid off from my last job. Everything happens for a reason. I never really wanted to have to worry about getting laid off or getting fired again. And, starting my own company, the only person that could really fire me or lay me off would be myself.
Rick started Buckeye BBC in March of 2012 and has since won several awards for his hard work. It's his mission and purpose to provide for the future, and his focus is on training and results.
Everyone starts off in the entry-level position. They get to learn everything about my company from the ground up. I teach them what to say, when to say it, how to say it, as far as the entry-level sales and marketing goes.
A big part of Buckeye BBC is the work environment and culture. The company is an active participant with local businesses, philanthropies, and the Columbus social scene.
I like to have a lot of fun. I've had jobs before where I wake up in the morning and wonder how I can not go into work that day. I would say the work environment, we work hard, we play hard. I'm always looking for the best. I'm always looking for the brightest. I'm looking for the top 10%. The team with the best players always wins. My job is to find the talent and then develop the talent. The goal is to expand the company 4 more times the next 12 months. Obviously, I need to find the people to do that with, and then develop those people once I do find them. The biggest thing is just growth and expansion as well. I want to take over the world eventually.
So that's Buckeye BBC. The company has grown all over Ohio and is soon to spread nationwide. I can't wait to come back someday and hear more about all their success. For Buckeye TV, this is Hallie Henry.
Comedian Kevin Hart has recently come under fire after posting a video on Instagram admitting to cheating allegations. The woman at the center of this scandal has recently come forward to apologize to Hart's pregnant wife and claim she had nothing to do with the extortion attempt. Details on this story are continuing to develop.
Ohio State has recently implemented new rules regarding living in the dorms. Sean Lowe has more on this new regulation and how it is affecting off-campus living.
It's been over a year now since the university changed its policy, which requires second years to stay on campus. And that is having some effect here in the university district for students and landlords. The reason for bringing back the sophomore requirement to stay on campus, the university says it's all about the student.
What the research shows us is that students who live on campus for a second year do better academically, and they have a better retention rate. And so our thought process was, in order to support student success, these are things that make a definite impact on student success.
The goal for the landlords in the university district is finding ways to attract students to rent from them, and once they are, to retain them. And many are now offering reduced rents or upgrades to their properties.
They came in and updated the bathroom, redid the flooring, took out some of the old carpet, put in some laminate, made it look a little bit nicer. A lot of landlords are just like completely renovating or demolishing and starting new apartments.
Another effect of sophomores being required to stay on campus is that the priority for residence halls is placed with the first and second year students.
We were very gratified, especially last year, that so many juniors and seniors, upperclassmen, wanted to stay on campus. That's very gratifying. Unfortunately, no, we don't have places for all of them. Our top priority is those first and second year students.
Reporting from east of campus, I'm Sean Lowe, Buckeye TV.
The sorority and fraternity houses at Ohio State allow students to live in their houses off campus. With being an attractive alternative to dorms, many students are considering this opportunity. We have reporter Danny Phillips with more on the story.
Living in a sorority or fraternity house with 40 of your closest friends seems great. What could go wrong? That is, until the inevitable noise and chaos caused by living in the house starts getting in the way of your school performance. I interviewed several members of the Greek life community to see if this is in fact the case. How noisy is the house throughout the day and at night when you're trying to sleep?
Definitely depends on the night. If it's like a Thursday night where everyone's going out, it gets pretty rowdy. But if it's like a Monday or Tuesday, it's fine and I can handle it.
Has your schoolwork been worse than when you were living in the dorms?
I hope not yet. We haven't really had any tests or anything, but I've been getting my homework done.
I definitely don't go to the library as much because it's farther, but there's always people doing work, so if I need to do work, I always know that someone's around to push me to do it.
Has your schoolwork been worse than when you were living in the dorms?
I hope not, but I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I do work here and it's not that bad. So.
In what ways have your schoolwork been impacted by living in the house?
It's probably helped me do better simply because a lot of fellow members are the same major as me or similar majors, and I've definitely provided helpful advice, as well as the fact that I have a lot more fun in my downtime, so I'm able to focus a lot better during my serious time because of that. It's so far better than it was in the dorms, simply because of the reasons I've said earlier, and also just having your own room to come back to as opposed to a rented room that you can't customize or make your own. It definitely feels different. It has a big impact on productivity and everything.
As you can see, the noise and commotion caused by living in the house does not seem to negatively impact students' school performance any more than living in the dorms. So long as students keep on top of their schoolwork, they should be just fine. Reporting for Buckeye TV, I'm Danny Phillips.
There's a surprising new trend among students moving into the off-campus neighborhoods. Emma Moat is here with the story.
As we jump into another busy school year here at Ohio State, more and more four-legged friends are making that jump along with us.
Growing up with a dog, kind of since the day I was born and having a dog back at home. In high school, I wanted my own for college as soon as I got my own place. Having a dog in college has been one of the most positive experiences of my life, because even when I'm away from friends, I still have my best friend right there. I had gotten my house and signed my lease before I actually had gotten my dog, and so what I ended up doing was just registering her as an emotional support animal so I can take her into any housing that I ever go to.
While we know the experience of the college dog owner can be both taxing and rewarding, there is another player in this game that's often forgotten.
It was one of my roommate's dogs from back home. It was actually the first time I'd ever lived with a dog. I never had any big pets growing up. He actually didn't end up saying anything about it to our landlord, and we ran into some problems with that. The landlord's policy is not to have any pets on property unless you have a medical reason to. We did not have a medical reason to. I'm sure everybody will say they have a well-behaved dog and stuff, but she really never caused any problems. The real estate happened to have some staff in the neighborhood and see her outside, so we got an eviction notice pretty shortly after that. My roommate would send her home for a couple of weeks, then we'd bring her back.
With more and more students requesting to have pets off campus, landlords are noticing a spike in the amount of animals that are being registered as emotional support animals. Only time will tell how this will change the off-campus pet policies at Ohio State. With Buckeye TV, I'm Emma Moat.
And that's it for this week's episode of Buckeye TV Scarlet Edition. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Sarah. Make sure to tune in next week to find out more about what's happening around Ohio State's campus.